Welcome to Unpacking with Jennifer. I'm your host, Jennifer Sattel. This is the podcast where we get real about all the things, from raising kids and managing family life to balancing work, endless activities, and somehow keeping your home organized through it all. As a mom and a professional home organizer, I know firsthand how overwhelming it can be. But here's the thing, organization isn't just about pretty containers and tidy shelves. It's about creating systems that work for your busy life, so you can spend more time enjoying your family and less time searching for lost shoes. Each week, we'll dive into everything from decluttering your home to simplifying your schedule, handling the chaos of kids' activities, and finding that elusive balance between work and family life. Because let's be honest, we are all trying to figure it out. So if you're ready to unpack the mess, both inside and out, let's jump into this week's episode. Welcome back to another episode of Unpacking with Jennifer Sattel. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get notifications when a new episode drops. Okay, everybody, this is another super exciting day because I have another favorite person. I really have all my favorite people in the world, and she is probably in the top tier. I'm not gonna lie. This is Becky. Becky, say hello.
Hello.
I love Becky for 175 reasons. And
Aw.
one of those reasons is how we met was I just had Charlotte, and I reached out on a mommy Facebook group about, I think, exercising or like a trainer. And I didn't feel weird when she responded to me, I think via like Messenger or something. And I was honest with her and kind of like, I'm really nervous. She specializes in like kettlebell weights and like strength training and all of these fantastic things that used to scare me. I'll be honest with you. Weights would scare me because I always felt that would just make you look bigger and not realizing all of this stuff. And also the cost. The cost was a huge factor. And this was a while ago. When you went to...
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
Years now.
Yeah.
How old is Charlotte? That's how we can tell.
Yeah, because you came, it was like right...
I remember in the very beginning, I was like, look down at Charlotte. She's the baby on the floor.
Yeah, I mean,
Charlotte always look up.
Yeah, I used to always look up.
So that was Charlotte, still the blob on the floor.
She was a
tiny
blob
baby
on the floor, and Becky is amazing. But she was very... just like generous with her words and like I didn't feel intimidated by her from that standpoint. And then getting to know her, I mean, she's awesome, you guys. She has 127 accolades, 127 million. Why is that my word right now?
I don't know.
127.
That's good.
Some days it's 700 million.
It feels like it's true.
She has like 75 people's lives into one life. Sometimes I'm
That's
like,
Tuesday.
Wait, you do that too? That's like a Monday at 4. So I'm going to let Becky kind of just talk about all of the things, but I just wanted to set it up and let you guys know how I met her and just what a wonderful person she is. And when you just had a baby and you're trying to do all that stuff, and it's just there's all these people that say they're fitness, and there's all these people that show you all these videos, and you know, they show you their pictures and their workouts and this and that. And it was a few years ago, but I felt very comfortable with her. And that is the thing I like about her. She is awesome. I mean, she is probably one of the most awesome people I know.
Well, I work out of a garage studio, so it's super important that I work with people that I'm comfortable with too. So having you in, it was easy. The connection was immediate. We do laugh a lot. Between sets, though.
We laugh so much.
We laugh a lot. Everything is so funny.
There was a period of time I feel that we would set up 2 hours, and an hour and 8 minutes was an actual workout, and the rest was us doubled over.
Chalk it up to ab work.
Oh my gosh, we have laughed so hard.
Things have been very funny. We have weathered.
We have. She has a million things, but the one most amazing thing, several prides she has in her life, but are her children. And I want you to tell me about your children.
About my kids?
All right. Kids. Now they're not really children.
They're
adults.
Not. They are now
young
fully
adults.
Fledged, independent children.
Yes.
I had a daughter first. Katie is 26. She and her husband just bought a house in Orange County, which is super impressive to me. She was always an easy rule-following kid. So, you know, she's still kind of that.
Awesome.
She's super fun, super funny. She loves Disney, so she married someone who promised to always take her to Disneyland. And they live, I think, like 9 minutes from Disneyland. So good on her. We visit them quite a bit, and potentially at some point we'll probably move closer to
Yeah.
where they are. They have a great pupperoo, Winnie, who is the best dog
That is
ever.
the best name.
So good. Yes.
Can I just tell you, that name brings joy.
It's so cute.
It's so cute.
She's so cute. She actually got me a shirt that has Winnie the Pooh dressed up as Stitch and Stitch dressed up as Winnie the Pooh, because I have a French bulldog who looks very Stitch-like. And so both of our dogs are dressed up as either dogs. She's
You
super
guys are
sweet
too
like
cute.
that. Yep.
You know what else is really cool? You guys do all this cool stuff as like a family. Like you will tell me, like, and I know you're going to talk about your other child, but you have all these like fun like family games, and everything was just not about belt. It wasn't all this like fancy schmancy. It was like the roots and just the ease of just being a family, doing games together, doing fun things
I think
together.
it's part of being poor.
No, but
we
no, but
we didn't have a lot of things we could afford to do, so we did a lot of
you
gaming.
came up with things
Yes, we
that
played a lot
I
of
feel
games.
are so much more meaningful. And that was one thing that I admire, because you would tell me, and when the kids were, in college,
Mhm.
again, money obviously being a factor for what some of the stuff you guys did and couldn't do, but you made it so special for them.
We have so much fun together. Play a lot of games. So growing up, we played a lot of games together, and it's interesting. I also have a son. Jonah and his wife live in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and kind of along that same line, he married somebody who we adore, but we don't know her very well because she lives on the other side of the country and has always. So now we have a Saturday morning, once a month, we get on Zoom together, and we spend the first 40 minutes like catching up with everybody and what's everybody doing. And then we reboot the Zoom, because I think you only get 40 minutes free. So
Do over. Okay, part
this
two.
once a month, so nobody's buying the membership. No one's committed that deep.
We love you, but not that much.
And so in the second 40 minutes, then like Katie usually, because, she's the responsible, person in that neighborhood, and her husband Jake, they'll share their screen, and we all just get on our phone and we like jackpot games or whatever. And so we spend the second half of that Zoom call playing games and laughing our butts off. But it was really important to do this because here we sit and talk all the inside jokes and all the funny that we have. Our family is very much like that too. So on not being a part of those inside jokes, it was important to involve her.
Oh, yeah.
And with them across the country, you see them pretty rare. So this way, we're playing games, we're having fun. We've had some super funny moments, and now she's a part of our funny
Have you noticed a
family.
difference, like with her comfort?
Easy, yes, for sure.
That's so great.
And and I say all the things, so
But
she just knows I'm on her team.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff is just so important. It could have just been like, I don't know. I just admire that. Like you're just, it's like it means more to them than probably just getting a present. This is a gift of like learning your daughter-in-law and making her feel comfortable.
I don't know how people do it. I don't know. Like if your kid goes across country and falls in love and marries the perfect person for them, but you're still on the other side of the country, I don't know how we do this. So
and you can't helicopter in every day.
We just can't do it. And I want her to know we love her, and I want her to love us back, and all those things. So inside of kind of creating, what is that? How do you create family bonds from so far away? I feel like one of the positives of 2020 was Zoom. So we are using
the only
that right things. I think there's very few. So we take the good. we'll
which is
that.
Which is so great that you do that and you spend the time and I don't know. I just think that means so much. And now let me ask you this. You homeschool your kids.
I did.
You homeschooled your kids.
I did, which I'm going to say I am a professed not homeschooler. It was very funny. We went into this kind of a meeting type homeschool group thing. And I'm listening to the people talk, and I was like, oh my God, this is so not me. And I turned to James, my husband, and he's like,
James. We forgot about James.
There's that guy.
There's that guy.
Who actually lets me do all the things. He's such a yes man. Love that guy. And he's like, oh, we're totally doing this. And I was like, huh?
Who's we? Who's we?
Exactly. I was like,
me and the mouse in your
let me
pocket?
just check a minute. Like, okay, I can read. I know basic math. I'm like, okay, I think I can do a kindergarten year. And maybe I can stay ahead of them. I don't know, because Katie was pretty smart. So I don't know. We just sort of took it one year at a time. And my attitude was always like, if there's something better that comes across the board that we can afford, then that's what we're doing. Because I'm not a homeschooler. So I thought, like, I expected to go and kind of see the quote unquote, homeschooled thing. And
because it was so like, I mean, before it was.
You just didn't hear a lot about it.
No, and it was always like the weird, like you heard, it was like the weird family.
Well, I feel like you needed like 10 kids, and then you needed to wear like
wheat
a dress
skirts
that started at your chin and ended at your toes.
Skirts made of
There
wheat.
was a big wives' tale idea, just that idea, and I didn't fit that at all. So actually we went to this conference and I looked around and there were that, but, God bless them. But there was also just a lot of people that look like us. So I was like, okay, maybe I can do this. And, the funny thing is that once you start doing it, you find, 12 million, what was it, 170 million other people who are doing it.
170 is the word today. Yes,
okay.
Thank you.
So
You do listen to me.
I do. So it just was a huge community. And then it became easy because I was like, we are such a social family. We are such a game playing, energetic. I couldn't imagine locking them in the closet and keeping them put. So all those wives' tales that I believed were homeschooling were just not. I mean, you can do that, but it just wasn't as.
But you opened my eyes to that too, because I was like, what? Like when you were
kids
telling
played
me.
Sports. They played year-round sports. They, like my son wrestled. He did track. He did football, a little bit of basketball, all the fun. Baseball all through growing up. And then Katie played year-round volleyball. She played softball for years. And softball and volleyball.
So do you think, maybe, I don't know. Do you think that your closeness with your family, with your kids, and then obviously now with their spouses, do you think that's partly because you were with them all the time and you taught them, all these things? Obviously, the information but do you feel like a closeness because of that? Do you feel that because we send our kids off to school, right? We pick them up at 3:00. We drop them off at 8.
Sure.
We pick them up at 3, sometimes later, and then they go to gymnastics and they go to this and they go to this and they go to this and they go to art and they do this volleyball tournament, whatever. And you come home and they take a shower, maybe they do their homework.
And everybody's tired.
And then everyone's
your
tired
time
and you go to
together is
bed.
when everybody's tired. Yeah.
And I feel like maybe I'm off base, but I feel like there was this closeness because you did a couple probably topics, took a little break, but you were with them and you were present more. And
I think so.
It's not a bad thing if you're not present because some people are not.
I think there's a lot of right ways to do it. I mean, that's kind of my perspective on it. Is there's a lot of right ways to do this. I do feel like the opportunity for us to share a lot of different kinds of experiences was obviously available because we were together so much. But, we did like co-ops and stuff. So other people taught them because I certainly am not proficient in every single thing. And I married
You're not?
I know, right? Shh. Don't tell anyone.
This. Quantum physics, I thought was your number one topic.
But I mean, there's a lot of opportunities because they were both smarter. I was like, who whispers in your ear at night? Because when I get you in the morning, you are so freaking smart. And I'm like, I don't know how you know these things. But I guess they, read books. So, but I had never taught anybody to read before. Like Katie was the first person I ever taught to read. I was like, I don't know how you teach people to read, but they actually have programs and they, it actually happens. So I had been a teacher before I taught the kids, but I was an athletic director, PE teacher, taught health and that kind of stuff, but I hadn't done normal teaching things, real teaching things. So, and then people will always say to me, oh, I could never be that patient. And I was like, yeah, I'll let you know the day I'm patient too. I'm like, you don't get to put me up on a sparkly space because I'm somehow more patient because I homeschooled my kids. I think the shelf life of behavior that you don't love is maybe shorter because you snip it out pretty quick because you're right there.
Right.
So I feel like there wasn't a lot of, like, I can remember when they came home with the nanny, 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 and it just bugged me. And I was like, I don't ever want to hear it. But that started with, I feel like there was a show named Caillou when the kids were little.
Oh.
And in the very beginning of Caillou, Caillou would say, Rosie, to his sister, because whatever. And the kids would always ask, can we watch Caillou? And I was like, okay, yes. But the minute the Caillou whines, then he's being turned off. And so every time in the very beginning, because that was the beginning of the show, Rosie, and we'd snap it off. I'm like, bye-bye, Caillou.
You shoot the TV.
Exactly. Done. And they both would be like, oh, Caillou.
Oh my gosh. I have many parenting fails in my
Me
life
too.
so far, but I feel this might have been one of my rock bottom moments that I say I have not homeschooled. Is Charlotte was in kindergarten, and they, at the very last month of school, every day she had to read this little book, different ones. It was like 1 through 10.
Yep.
She had to read it with no mistakes before she went on to the next one. And it was a little pamphlet, and it was simple like, Tom is at the lake. Tom likes to run. It was that simple. Charlotte would be like, finally we would get her to say Tom. I would get her to say Tom. She, sounded out the whole thing. Tom is at the lake. The next sentence would be like, Tom is going to run. And she would be like, and I'm like, you just said the word.
it.
Do you remember me telling you this? Like, you just said the word. It's the same as the one above. And this went on, and the next one.
It out every time.
And then I remember taking the little pamphlet and just chucking it across the room, and I'm like, we're done today. And I thought, oof.
Yep.
And that's probably why I pay for it.
Well, but see, here's in my shoes. Nobody was telling me you have to get this done by tomorrow morning, or this is this box you need to check. I didn't have those boxes. So some things went really fast, and we could, push through like a year math curriculum in 6 months because maybe you just got it.
Yeah.
Or, maybe it took you a year and a half, and I just didn't have the deadline. So my need to chuck a book across because this has to be done by Friday,
Yes.
and you're like, ugh! I didn't have, it has to be done by Friday. Mine was, I get to sort of take it at your pace, but we're going to work on it every day. But, we're going to take it at your pace. So I think that's one of the positives and negatives, because I would say things like deadlines are important things to learn. And so inside the world of homeschooling, how do you create this ambiguous deadline that I'm just going to make a deadline? Like, how does that work?
Yeah.
And what if they're not ready? Like, do you adjust it? Like, But at work,
do you shake them hard? What do you do?
Right. But at work, you have deadlines. You have to work inside of deadlines. So I think it's one of the challenges of homeschooling, but yet it's also one of the blessings because I don't have to get mad over your every time you see TOM.
Oh my gosh, I was dying. But with that, obviously your strength, I would say you also now continuously, since I've met you, teach writing.
I do. I teach writing. Yep. When the kids were, I would say later elementary, I was one of the core mommies. We started a co-op. There were a bunch of us playing baseball. And so we'd hang out on the Saturdays together. And one of the moms said, hey, would you want to start a co-op with me? And yeah, are you kidding? So to have really smart mommies, and I think maybe daddies every now and then, but really it was the core mommies. One of them was a nutritionist, and so she did all of the sciences. There was this amazing artist, and I have trouble even drawing stick figures.
Seriously.
So to have these, one of the moms came in and taught sign language and world geography, and I loved English, but the other things I was like, well, I'm not the best at that. There are way smarter mommies out there. So we joined together, and there were a ton of kids in that co-op. There was, a ton, maybe 25, 30 kids in the co-op. Yeah, it was a really good group. So we would meet once a week, and I taught writing to the co-op kids. That's how it started. And loved it. Loved it. And it's just this whole world of these kids, for the most part, just have such creative imaginations. But when you have to put a pen in your hand and write something down, you either go for the safe words, which oftentimes don't tell me what's going on inside your brain.
Sure.
Or you're so worried about making a mistake that you don't give me all those details. Or you just want to finish, right? Are you just like, I hate writing and I just want to finish.
Right.
So I get to the end.
Right till I get to the end.
And so it was just this world of shut out the outside world, kind of stop your brain from telling you to, be safe. And they had permission to spell things wrong, but go and tell me what's going on in your brain. Tell me all the senses. What are you tasting, seeing, smelling, all of those great things. And then, typically the boys loved all the action and the girls were going to give me all the creative nouns and adjectives. But, just was that opportunity to shut down that it's okay to make a mistake. This is what editing is all about. And I got things that would just make me cry on my couch. They were so amazing. And I would tell the kids, I'm like, here, I've given this assignment. I have 25 of the same thing that I have to read through. Please do me the favor and give me something great. I don't want to sit with, my pillow and my blanket and fall asleep while I'm reading all your stuff because they're all the same thing.
And then I drool on it and then it's weird and awkward.
It's gross. And then you have literally drool stains on your homework back. What was that? And they would. I think it was part of just the relationship that we created where they wanted to please me. And that part was, I want to know what's going on in your brain. I can't see inside of it. The example is the boy came into the room. I'm kind of snoring already. I don't really care. But the wild-haired boy dove into the room. I want to know, why is he wild-haired and why is he diving? What's going on there? And I want to read your next sentence. And so it was just sort of appealing to the fact that I know these great things are happening in your brain. Put them down on the paper, and I'm here for it. So, and then, if there's something spelled wrong, I don't care. I'll help you fix that. And then boom, you'll bring back an edited copy. And then the things are spelled right. And that's the process.
So you're still doing writing?
I am.
Do you tutor kids in you do the co-op still?
I do. I do.
I
hate saying that.
I know. I do.
I do.
But not here. Not now.
I won't do this. Yes.
Really awkward.
I've already taken care of all of that. I'm here fresh.
Fresh and clean.
That's right.
Fresh and clean.
Nothing clinging. I still teach writing on Mondays.
Yes.
I teach an elementary level, a middle school level, and then literary analysis. So I do. I take them all the way. I usually have a heavy fall where I'm helping kids write, all the college entrance.
Oh, I was going to ask that.
I do all of that too. And I have a pretty good record of kids getting into USC and UCLA. So it's pretty nice.
That's awesome. That's wonderful.
But it's just, it's just tell your story, but you have to tell the story where you're actually telling the story and not relying on your audience to fill in the blanks. So so I still do that. I love it. I teach writing Mondays in Chatsworth. So that's nice. What I'm doing. I work also through Blue Ridge Academy, which is a satellite of a school, and so they will often pay for my writing classes, which is nice. So those mommies and daddies don't have to pay for me.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, and then I love it, love it. We just actually finished the school year, which is also nice because I get to sort of build my school year around my happy life. So. I had a flight that I needed to take, so I had to, we stopped in May.
You stopped in May. So you do, and you also do, you do so many fucking things.
I know, do is going to happen a lot. I'm so sorry to whoever's editing this. The do is heavy here.
do. You do so many things, but you also volunteer. I know that what you do, I just don't know what the title of what you do is in terms of the volunteering.
I'm a board member for an organization called Higher Things, which is a youth organization. And I also run their entertainment over the summer. So they have typically 3 large week conferences. We this summer are going to Massachusetts, to Nebraska, and to Michigan. And the kids are involved in conference all week, and I am the 7:30 to 10:30, 11 o'clock p.m. fun. So what do they do? So
Oh, yes. I remember you
I'm
would
the
do
entertainment lady.
And you plan all of it.
I do. So I bring on you ride the bull and you do ropes courses, and we bring in human foosball. I do like the guy with the crazy hair, then he would paint and you'd paint with him.
Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. So we have a Bob Ross type situation.
He's like Fred Ross.
Yeah, exactly. They get to do rock climbing. They get to have a lot of fun. I mean, that's kind of where my brain is. I'm such an old lady, and I'm like, okay, what do kids like to do? I feel like a laser tag, and my feeling on it is we do the laser tag, and sometimes we do the ones with like the little beads. Because if you're not walking away with, marks.
Paintball.
Yes. Well, it's not paintball quite. It's like these little beads that dissipate in the grass. So it's like laser tag, but whatever.
Okay.
But it is these little balls that will, leave a mark. And I'm like, it's good.
I remember there was a period of time where paintball was real, like the shit, and I was like, I
Yes,
want to do it.
it's good.
And then I would see all the welts, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's not so good.
That seems like it hurts.
I mean, and I can take danger to a certain point, but in theory, I need to make
Do
sure
you
all their limbs
you do
are
remember
attached.
this. I know this.
I'm sure I
Do you remember on one of your trips, I think you were in maybe Indiana, Illinois, where do you normally go? Do you
All
remember
over.
the lady who didn't have her seatbelt on?
Kristen.
And you guys hit a
Yes.
speed bump?
Yes.
Isn't that right? And she like broke her back or
She did. She did.
It was like the most, I remember you were like, I'm like, how was your thing? And she's like,
gosh.
the
It was-
weirdest.
yeah.
And it was one of those things that's like,
Yeah.
how the fuck did that happen? And it happened in
crazy.
front of us.
Yes.
Yeah, for some reason,
And like we adore and love her. And she's a mom of littles. So it was pretty
no,
significant.
That's terrible. I just remember
She is now great, though. She is now great. She had it's one of those stories where when those things happen and then you're like, the best doctor in the world was at that hospital and did that surgery. And it's one of those stories. She's recovered great. I just actually spent a couple days with her just 2 weeks ago.
That's great.
mhm.
But I remember you telling me, because I was like, how was it?
I
Like,
know,
oh my
it's
God.
so-
'Cause I remember
yeah,
you come back and you were like,
stuff
oh, it was
happens.
exhausting. It was this. You're like, but get this. And it
Yeah.
was one of those things where you guys weren't even driving that far.
No,
She didn't,
just
like
across the
street.
Yep.
Somebody hit the speed bump and
Yep.
it just was
Yep.
terrible.
I mean, you think you're just going across the street.
yes.
And then you hit a speed bump.
And then you hit a speed bump. And I remember every time I go over a speed bump a little
Yeah,
aggressively,
you're like,
I
don't
remember
do
you
it.
telling me that.
Right. Don't do it.
It's so funny and not funny, haha. Just I remember I was like, every time I go over a speed bump, I'd be like,
Yep,
my
it's
God,
good.
I
I
always
feel
think
like
that's
we
weird.
should be, when those things happen,
That
we
was
want
one
to
of
make
those
sure
fucking
we
weird things
think
that
it
you're
was. Yeah, the important thing is that she runs such an amazing organizational worked it in
there we go.
conference event that she obviously was gone. She was in the hospital and she was done. And she is so clear and organized and does such a good job that everybody else was able to come in and inside of the horrendousness of what was going on, the kids there didn't necessarily know anything that was going on.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Yes, it was amazing. I mean, people sometimes run things in ways where if they're not there, everything falls apart.
Oh, yeah.
And and she just does this in such a beautiful way where it was seamless. Everybody
Do you
was
do it
able to
every
step
year?
in.
Is it always at the same?
I do. No,
Was it Kansas City and then like Indiana or something? Am I crazy?
Yes, all of those. Yes,
See,
is
I
the answer to
remember
everything. We always go to a college campus because they're high schoolers. So we go to different college campuses so they just see the opportunities that are out there for them. College campuses tend to be a great place to go to because they've got dorms, which makes it easy for
Yes.
housing.
Oh my God.
They usually have food service type stuff so we can feed the kids while
And there's
they're with
space
us.
for the kids.
There's space. There's obviously fields and just grassy spaces, gymnasiums. So all those things are sort of tailor made for what we're doing. And then at the same time, I can remember when my kids went, because that's how we got involved. When I took my kids to this and then fell in love with it and then turned around and
So when do you go every year?
it kind of moves around the calendar a little bit, but it's this year I'm going end of June, beginning of July, and end of July. But sometimes
two.
they're back to back. I mean, it's
You go to two.
I'm doing three.
Three.
Three. It was like the Massachusetts, Michigan.
Oh yes, you did say that. You did that. I heard you, Becky. Don't look at me like that. I heard you. I listened.
One of us is listening.
I think that's
It's great. I love it. And my whole world says, what are you doing? And I just love it. I love what I do. I love all the kids that come. The staff wows me. So yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
So great.
I do all the things that I love.
Okay, let's take a quick break. click the like, subscribe, or follow button on any platform that you're using, and that will give you notifications when the next episode drops. Now back to the show. I want to jump back really quick because I kind of got excited to talk to you. And then so Jonah, your son,
Yes.
he is in Indiana.
He is.
And he's going to seminary school, yes?
He is. He's in seminary.
So how much longer does he have of that?
Seminary is 4 years. He just has finished his second year. His third year is a year that they actually put you into a church for like an apprenticeship type year. And so he is coming to Danville, California.
Ooh!
So that baby's coming home.
Yay!
I'm so excited. I truly feel like I must have a special connection with the Holy Spirit.
You do. You absolutely
bring my baby
do.
home. And I would have said prior to him being placed there, there's just no way he's coming back to California. There's no way. So
oh my God.
it was just when you say it can happen, Danville, California. And his beautiful wife is, she's from Illinois. So for her, like, California is pretty daunting. And I can think really of no place better than Danville to welcome this sweet baby and provide just that a lovely area. There's lots of fun because San Francisco is close. So there's lots of fun things to do. There's
Definitely.
good food.
I agree.
There's an aquarium up there. It's just gorgeous. The church is a beautiful church. It's
When does he do that?
August 1, he starts.
That's so
great.
great.
Yeah, so this mama is so excited.
Wait, but they just bought a house there.
They did buy a house. They got married in September. Jonah bought the house the previous March. They'll rent it this next year.
Nice.
So it'll pay for itself. So it was one of those things where inside of looking at his opportunities, you can pay rent, or you can pay the same amount of money, actually even a little bit less, and actually buy a house. So we were like, we'll kind of help you inside of the fact that you need another person to sign. So we'll give you our signature, but you're on your own, big man. So, but I think it's also great because inside of being a young person, having the support to say, go and actually kind of take the chance, throw yourself into some real estate, and then sort of build up that equity world. And then you have at least something to step on in the next
I
jump
know
you
we've
make.
talked about this. I don't believe in regrets. I don't. I really don't. I think everything kind of just aligns. But man, do I regret not buying something when I was younger.
Right, when it was
I have
cheaper.
to tell you, I mean, just like thinking about like a 1-bedroom condo back when, you're like, oh, it's $80,000 and you're like, oh, I don't have $8. And I just kick myself. That is the one thing I just don't believe in regrets. I really don't. I think
Good for you.
things are aligned and, there are moments I think, ooh, would I have done that differently? Maybe now. But again, at that time, but man, the real estate thing, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Even
my
changed
mom,
our
she's
life.
like,
Yeah,
what?
I know.
It just...
I think sometimes too, it's that brave moment that that's hard. That's a hard situation. I feel like having a little bit of that parental support. I feel like Jonah 100% could do a lot of these things on his own, but getting a loan, he kind of needed our name too. So it is that place where now as a parent, you can handle that differently. I feel like that's why we don't spend our time in regret. We just learn from situations and then look forward with different eyes. But yeah, I think that's one of the best things we ever did was jump into a piece of real estate. Then we rode that market.
You did it in the beginning.
And we did it on one salary in California, making like $30,000 a year.
And you did it. And now
we did it.
you can't buy a fucking porta potty.
You can't buy a car.
You can't buy a fucking car. I'm like, I got a scooter.
Yeah.
I'm on lease.
We bought a house in West LA for $199,000. That was our first house.
Oh my God.
So yeah, but that was like boom, 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 knock on the door.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine from middle school's mom wanted to move. She didn't want to clean in her house. And she was like, hey, will you buy my house? And we were like, huh? So I would say, yes, that's the brave of jumping into that real estate market. But what it also is the value of relationship, right? Had I not had a relationship with this woman, she would have never knocked on my door, right? She's not gonna knocking on random neighbors. So inside of our relationships, it's important that, we pour into people, that we actually build relationships, because you never know how, you either help someone out or someone helps you out. And they're so important. I mean,
so
listening to
agree
your
with you.
podcast from last week, I'm going to give a little plug.
She's my number 2 subscriber, just so everybody knows.
Yes,
Lisa's still
there's a
number one.
I'm not taking Lisa's spot. She is
Kim
queen.
is not.
Queen.
Kim is not. She's number 40.
You just need to do it for Kim, and then she'd be like, I'm fine with it. You just need to hit it for me. But yes, it's those relationships, they're so important. All those relationships are important. So that's kind of my life creed inside of just I when I was renting a car in Kansas City, this poor little sweet babe is sitting behind the counter at the National Rent-A-Car. Feel free to pay us for that plug. I can tell you where to send the check.
I love it.
But there's these fumes coming out, and we're just having fun back and forth together. And then I kind of stop the conversation. And I'm like, "Are you like my best friend now? Or are you just really high and you're just having a good time with me?" And she's like, "I don't know, maybe both." So I'm like, I just sort of build that BFF everywhere I go, and
I feel like I'm not maybe. Not everywhere, but I've really made some really great relationships.
Hey, you walked into my garage and I fell in love with you immediately.
I fell in love with you. I not only think of you as a friend and an amazing parent, amazing woman, a strong woman, but I also kind of thought of you as my therapist, really. I'm not going to lie. There was a lot of therapy sessions in between kettlebell killing, murdering all my muscles and laughing so hard.
Yes.
But it is so important, and I treasure those relationships. And there's some people you're like, oh, they're fine, but I haven't. You don't take it much further. And I have
I think it's wise to be careful who you share your hard stuff with, because because words they're important, and they sometimes can break your heart.
Yeah.
So it's good to be careful with who you share that stuff with. But I'm glad that you shared it with me.
Yeah, you helped me with so many things, and you still. I mean, I was having some issues with Charlotte, and just little girls being mean to her, and I was crying to you about it, and I just think you just have that aura about you. You have that persona, you're just it's really special, and I may even just cry for a second.
I think we just look at where do we have the opportunity for change, and the things that we can change, we work on those things, and the conversations that we want to have, we should have, and then the stuff we can't change, you just.
And I did request that girl not go in Charlotte's class next year, and I got it.
Good.
I got it approved.
I feel we have those conversations, and we allow the people who say they're going to take care of us, take care of us. Yep. And then when they don't, we go back and have another conversation. Let me help you take care of me.
And I will beat that horse to death.
I'll
Believe
follow
me.
That up.
David, he takes the brunt of my...
That's good. That's why it's a good team.
It's a great team.
It's a really good team. Yep.
He's so good. I'll just handle this, Jennifer.
Yes, and he champions both of you. So you have your eggs in a good basket with him.
He's
a good dude.
Yeah, he's a good dude most of the time. So James is in... James, your husband, who's 47 feet tall,
He's
give
a
or
tall
take.
Man. I mean, literally to this day, he was center volleyball guy, so the tallest, so athletic, all the things, and then he picks this potty squatty of me. I'm like, I'm going to have these tiny children,
very tiny
and
children.
You want massive, beastly volleyball players and.
A gust of wind will blow Jonah over on a good day. I mean, now I don't know as much, but before, if there was a strong wind in West Hills, I'm just saying, he's going down.
I have strong genes. I have strong genes.
And Katie, we didn't say that she's a teacher.
She is. She teaches, she's amazing. She teaches English at Crean High School in Irvine. And then she also helps run the missions there. So she takes kids all over the world. She and Jake are actually going and taking a group to Alaska to do missions there. And it's a mission trip she completely created. But in 2019, both of my kids went on they went around the world, basically.
Oh, yes.
On missions. God. They went to 16 different countries and did amazing things with pretty horrendous situations.
Yes, I remember.
And she took those really horrendous situations, and she's I'm going to feel everybody's feelings person. Jonah can walk in and do great things, and be like, I have come, I have done what I can do. Love to y'all. Peace out. Go to the next place, jump in and start all over again and not carry things with him. Katie carries everybody's burdens. And so by the time she was in like the fourth place, she had so many burdens. And it took a lot out of her. She came back and had a lot of work to do just on, working through all the things that she saw. And
I can't even imagine. I mean,
it's a lot. It's a lot. But she took that and then turned it into a space where she prepares her kids for missions in amazing ways. Like she's taken it and she made it better. So she's a gift to that program. They go to San Salvador and work with youth and adults who are special needs because they're not necessarily well cared for there. So she goes and they work with that population. The kids fundraise and they build a house there. They fundraise to able to go shopping and fill the house with good things. They oftentimes work with the family who's moving into the house, so the family feels very connected to the experience. And she's done amazing things.
The most proud parents.
I'm super proud. And then her husband is like,
I know.
Yeah.
And their story, tell me if I'm wrong, it was like one of those things where I'm like, oh, is Katie, dating somebody? And she like, maybe, I don't even know. I think she just saw him and was like, oh, he's cute or something along those lines. And then it was like, and then she went away. She went on the missions trip.
Yes.
So they had started kind of talking.
Yep. They had gone on a missions trip the summer of her junior year to Hungary. They met, they did at the missions trip, they both did like the sporty stuff together. He's a big baseball, Orange County. He's an athletic guy. So they spent that, I think, 2 weeks, I don't even remember how long she was gone. But while she's there, she says, I've met a guy he's the kind of guy that I would think about marrying. And she never talked like that. She really hadn't dated anybody. And I was like, huh? So then I wanted to go pick her up from the airport because I'm like, who's this guy?
Tell me more.
But James works close to the airport and he was like, I'm going to pick him up. And I'm like, you're destroying me. But
you take
I
all
sat
my
patiently
goodness away.
I'm like, you take all the fun things. But whatever. So I'm like, hey, did you happen to, see this guy, Jake? And he's like, oh, yeah, I met him. I'm like, well, what'd you think about him? He's like, it kind of reminded me of me. I was like, what?
What?
You? Oh, dear. What are we getting ourselves into?
What are we talking about? We got to figure this out.
But so they kept in contact for, I don't know, like a year. And then she stayed out at school the summer before her senior year to work at Disneyland. She was a cruise, whatever, a jungle cruise director. Mm-hmm. Oh, she did that. She's so cute. And they kind of started dating and dated for like, I think a full month before she's like, I'm peace out for like 5 months, 5.5 months. And he said, I will be here when you get back. I will wait for you.
Their story is so cute.
I
just want to put them in a tortilla and just squish on them.
I was super impressed with both of them. Upon getting back, she's like, they talked often, like almost every day and text a lot and did all the things you can do from afar. And she's like, I love him, but I haven't actually spent time with him. So for her to have the presence of, now I need to actually see if, there's a chicka bum in our future, or if it's just like, I love you on paper and in my ear, but, I
love you as a friend.
It all worked out.
Yeah, it all worked out. It's such a great
they're
story.
getting married 4 years this summer, so all is good.
Nuts.
Yep.
That is so nuts.
So they're super cute. He is, if I were to put on paper what I would love in a son-in-law, he shines so much bigger and brighter than anything I could have hoped for. So I'm super glad it wasn't up to me because he is so wonderful for her, and she is so wonderful
you've
for
looked
him.
At. I mean, everything, you may have had, again, I didn't have buckets of money. You have all the stuff that's so important. Like, you like your son and daughter-in-law.
I super like them both. Yep.
You know what I mean? You are so lucky.
Yeah.
I mean, you have this amazing connection with your kids, spouses and their families, I bet,
Their families.
and it's like, that's really a treasure too, because
We like spend holidays with like Jake's family because we love them so much.
Which is,
and they actually invite us to these holidays.
We don't scale the walls and drop from the ceiling.
But I'm going to say, I mean, luck is easy to say we're lucky, but I feel like we've put a lot of work into relationship. Yeah. And I think, at the end of the day, we forgive big and we love even bigger. And it's work. I think if you lined up my family, they would say, Becky's a lot of work. She's a thing. But it's all worth it. I mean, we love really big, but everybody has their own different personalities and But
they mix with you. Like, you have these relationships and the communication and all of that stuff is great. But in the real world, not in Becky's the beautiful life that I'm going to sneak into and she's going to adopt me.
You're in.
I'm in. Thank you. You could get a rotten apple. You could
get a rotten apple.
I started to say egg and apple, so it was apple, just so you know.
Both of those
we don't
are
have
bad.
to edit it, though. It's fine.
Really, anything rotten is super bad. Bananas. I mean, it's all just terrible.
Bad. It's all bad.
Yes, you can get a rotten. You can get a rotten. Rottens happen.
We've seen rotten.
Yes.
We've seen it.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I don't know. The kids never even dated rotten. So it was, I mean, Katie didn't really date anybody. And Jonah, not really either. Like, they both sort of, I think they waited until they actually dated somebody who was worth dating. Yeah, and to fall in love. And kind of both of them sort of, Jonah, I think a little bit maybe just kind of sort of dated, but never like I'm actually dating her kind of thing.
Right. Like
the first real person was the person he married. She's, oh my goodness, so delicious.
What does she do?
She's a teacher.
She's a teacher.
So she taught like a crazy person this year. She had a mixed classroom, I think 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but she just did like English for everybody and some math for some of them and PE for some of them. And I think she had the 5th, 6th. I could get it wrong. And then she's going to be like, oh, woman, aren't you ever listening? But she, like Katie said, when Katie looked at her schedule, she's like, oof, she's been at work like a dog. But she rose to the challenge. She hit a home run, and she's beloved. Like, they literally were like, take a close church, Jonah, so that we can keep Hannah. She's amazing. And she sings like an angel. So she's,
I don't want to brag, but I also am known for my angelic
I never hit the right note. Like, if I hit the right note, it was, 3 notes before that was that note. I'm the worst. So
my nickname is Angelic Singer.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing. And I think too, in college, I think she's got like even a degree in like drama directing kind of stuff. She's all the things. Gosh. So I was like, girl, you could do singing lessons in a drama club, and you're gonna make what you made in Fort Wayne, Indiana, as a teacher. So she's really gifted. So she'll be fine. She'll hit that ground running.
Your kids are amazing.
They amaze me. They're all way better than I am. I mean, it's the funny thing where as a homeschooler, you think, well, didn't you have to be smart? And I'm like, I don't know, because I somehow worked it out. I do feel like people whispered in their ear at night because I did not teach them all these things, and they are so smart and wise.
One day they're like talking to a therapist on the couch. They're like, I remember vaguely hearing
those weird people
voices in my ears. I don't understand it. Where did these come from?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go to another part of your life. Your mom lives with you.
Oh, she does.
And that's good. I mean, she lives with you, but she has a little bit of her own space, like her own.
She does?
Yeah. Doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
She does.
My dad passed away in 2016, and he was a pastor. So they lived in a home that was owned by the church. So what happens when the pastor dies is they boot the lady out, right? They're going to boot the wife out. So it was still pretty raw. So, and they're older. So we just moved her in with us. And so there
almost
she stayed.
10 years.
Yes. Yes. I love my mom. My mom is the nicest person ever. But I was the daddy's girl. So, the little bit of, we have a little bit of that. So I am learning to be a better person because it is just, I just should just love my mom and be a better person. Stop complaining. Right now, she currently is with my brother, he's a saint in my eyes. I adore him.
She's with your brother?
She's spending a month with my brother.
Wow.
Yes, I called in the troops and said, Mom is so great. We should spend more time with her. Please. So I flew her out there.
How old is your mom?
87 and a half. And she still gardens. She takes art lessons from Pierce College online. She's so cute. She takes this little older adult class where they teach you how to use your phone and not be sucked into the scams.
My mom's not even that. My mom's not that old, but man, I got to teach her how to use a phone because I have no patience with that.
There's a class. I can help her get enrolled.
Oh my God.
She's amazing. She does amazing things. And we are very lucky that she is so independent and she's funny and she's given and she takes care of most of all of her own things. So it's good. It's a good thing.
Wow.
87. I know. And her people on her side of the family, they live a long time. So I feel like her light is not dimming. She is.
We got another 32 years.
She may be around for a while.
I love it. No, we want that.
Yep.
That's really great.
Yep. So yeah, we're empty nesters, but not really. Just kidding.
You guys still do Disneyland
We do.
How often do you go now?
A lot.
Yeah.
If I were to pull and open up my phone and show you my passes and we keep a lot of dates on our Let's Go. But I would say, it's funny because this is kind of one of my funnier stories, or just a kind of you're weird story maybe.
I don't think
people will say, you and your husband really like Disneyland, don't you? And my daughter loves Disneyland and my husband loves Disneyland. And I love my daughter and my husband. So when people are like, what's your favorite ride? My favorite ride is any ride that has a line at least 45 minutes long so that I can talk to my daughter because, the first 20 minutes in the line, you're like, rah, rah, rah. But then the second bit of that, anything more than that, I'm getting the good stuff. I'm getting all the what's going on and the feelings all the, Katie, I love you so much. Like, give me all the goods. And that's where I'm getting the goods. So, my favorite thing at Disneyland is standing in line with my kid and being able to talk to her and her husband and my husband.
And he loves it too.
And he loves it too. But he does. He loves it too, but he also loves Katie crazy good. So he loves Disneyland then too. He actually Katie and I went and ran the 10K at Disney World, I think last year, was it last year?
Oh my God.
And we took Jake with us. And I'm telling you, that guy, I would think in my brain, I want, that treat. I want that margarita or whatever as we're going around the thingy at Epcot. And I'm telling you, I would turn around and he would already have it for me. I had the best trip of my entire life.
I was just thinking of it and it came into my lap.
And he just had it. He was just there, all the things. I have never been so waited on, taken care of. And I thought to myself, if this is what her life is like every day, what? So I'm a little jelly because he's amazing. So traveling anywhere with Jake is on my list of yes, please.
I've never met him, but he sounds
he's amazing. Yep, he's amazing.
I
would take both of my in-law children, and 100% you are in my heart forever.
Oh my gosh. Oh
yes,
my gosh.
I adore.
Actually, Charlotte won't hear this, but I'm surprising her and taking her next Tuesday to Disneyland. Which I did. I'm not a huge Disney person. I mean, as a kid, I loved going to Disneyland, but you went like once or twice a year, maybe,
Yep.
And then when I had Charlotte, when she was about 8 months old, she was free and I was comfortable.
Yes.
I was comfortable, you know what I mean?
Let's do it.
My mom and I got passes, and that's what we did once a month. We didn't go in the summers because you couldn't go anyway. We got the cheapest pass, which is fine. I wouldn't go in the summers because everyone would have burst into flames.
Yes.
But we did it until she was 4. We snuck her in, Disney. Just letting you know, we snuck her in that last year.
You're not alone.
We put a blanket over her legs because she was really tall, but whatever. But I'll tell you, it really was. I have so many good memories of just her and the wonder and all of that stuff, and it really is a special thing. And she really loves Disney. And David and I, it's all right.
It'll get more fun when she gets a little bit older too.
And she, more fun. Yeah, and she, she loves it, and she asks all the time, but. Anyways, I'm surprising her. I'm going to take her. I said, we'll make it a girls thing. So I bought the tickets a couple days ago, and I'm going to surprise her. And she is funny. It's like, she must know telepathically that because she's like, Mommy, do you think that we'll ever be able to go to Disneyland?
Ever.
Do you think I'm not
wish upon a star.
I'm I'm like, I don't know, say your prayers at night, sweetheart. But it's funny. It's like the second I booked it, I swear to you,
you're giving
27 times. She's like, do you think it's ever going to happen?
You're giving out the Disney vibes.
I know. I'm like,
Good
oh my
girl.
God. So that's, I mean, I really could talk to you, and I'm definitely, I could talk to you for 175,000 years.
Right?
You do it all. You really do.
I know. We haven't even touched on the ninja.
We haven't
side
touched
of
on
my life.
anything really. I feel like there's 5,000 things to touch on. And I love that you came on the podcast. I love that I talked to you and I feel so comfortable around you. And I just, you're my friend. I feel like you're my family. You're just awesome. And I'm not just blowing smoke. I say it when I mean it. And
I love you back.
And
I love you back.
And it's so good to talk to you. And some people can just, if they have questions about homeschooling, if they have questions about writing, if they have questions about kettlebell weights that, she plays it off like she's like, oh, this is, oh yeah, I'll kick your ass. And no, you're dead. You're dead. And then she has to revive me because I'm dead. Just awesomeness. She's just awesome. And that word is her and her family and her husband and her kids. And
it's a fun life. It's a good time.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
It's a really good time. And I thank you. I thank you for coming on the podcast. You'll be on again. And then we can actually talk about some
all the other things.
All the other things we were going to talk about, but time goes fast. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
And as you know, like and subscribe.
Yes. Please do.
Like and subscribe so you're my number one fan.
Do yourself a favor.
So you can know when the newest episode will drop. I thank you for listening, and I look forward to the next episode. Thank you.
Let's do it.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Unpacking with Jennifer. I hope you're walking away with a little inspiration and a few practical tips to make life at home just a little bit easier. If you love the episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a new one. And if you found it helpful, I'd love if you left a quick review. It helps more moms like us find the show. Let's keep the conversation going. You can find me on social media at Jennifer_Sattel for more organizing tips, behind-the-scenes moments, and a whole lot of real life. Until the next time, take a deep breath, give yourself some grace, and keep unpacking what matters most. This episode was engineered by Robert Altschuler. Music by Coldfire. Recorded and mixed at Command Recording Studios.